Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is October the 9th, and it's time for our National Geographic program for the month. This one is called or entitled Hostile Planet, Mountains.
中文标题是危险星球高山。
I just want to say, I love that we have this concept of our planet as being hostile to us. This is like a traditional concept of humans towards our planet. But recently on the internet, there have been young people who are reversing that narrative. They're like, we have this conception of like aliens are going to come in, they're going to destroy us because everything is so hostile. They're like, what if humans are the scariest kind of alien to all the aliens? They're like, humans, you can put them anywhere on their planet and they will live. Antarctica, no problem. Deepest desert, no problem. You always find somebody living in these really hostile places. How do they do it? Humans, they break their leg and they're fine. They burn half of their body. They're fine. They recover. They grow again. Humans are scary, man. It's an interesting change of concept.
Yeah, 这个传统上面我们会觉得说是这个大自然这个 hostile 对我们会有敌意会有危险。那甚至于我们对于这个如果是外星来的人，我们会觉得哇，外星人是 hostile 他们只有危险的，是有敌意的。但是最近开始有人就觉得，不，其实最有危险、最有敌意的人是人类。人类到哪里都活得下来。而且呢，到哪里活下来之后就会开始破坏环境所以其实这个人类才是最危险的。
Alter, we begin to alter our environment.
我们去改变alter 就是 A-L-T-E-R， 我们去改变我们的环境其实就是破坏我们的环境了。
Okay, let me read through and see what the author has to say and National Geographic, why mountains can be considered a hostile environment.The world is a tough place, though that conclusion is hardly surprising from a show titled Hostile Planet. Hosted by well-known British adventurer Bear Grylls, this series offers a view of the natural world that is not sugar-coated at all. Over the course of 6 episodes, Grylls and the film crew visit various ecosystems and capture the struggles and failures to survive in some of the most inhospitable and dangerous places on Earth. To kick off the National Geographic series, viewers are brought to mountainous areas all around the world. From the first frame, the focus of the show is on danger. Gorgeous vistas and awesome landscapes can't distract viewers from the perils of living on the side of a lofty mountain. Hatchlings need to leap from their nest before they can fly. Mountain goats risk being swept away as they cross fast-moving rivers. Even an animal at the top of the food chain, like a snow leopard in the Himalayas, puts its life at risk when an attack on prey leads to a precarious tumble down the mountain. To add insult to injury, those struggles and more are all amplified by global warming. All the animals Grylls and the crew film are impacted by the changing climate. For some species, scarcity of food leads to more competition and fighting. For others, shifting weather patterns force them to migrate to environments that may be even more inhospitable for survival. Hostile Planet, Mountains, presents a somber picture where the fight for survival doesn't necessarily end in triumph. Even for the survivors, the outlook appears bleak in the face of an all too quickly changing planet.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't have problems, your life is dull.
Who says that?
Everybody. Well, everybody I know. The point being, if the planet wasn't dangerous, it'd be a pretty boring planet to live on.
这个主要是说呢，这个如果说没有什么挑战性，没有什么这个敌意的话，或者是人生没有什么挫折困难的话，那就没什么意思了。
Yeah, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I guess. But anyways, the world is a tough place. We all know this to be true. And so that conclusion is hardly surprising. That's a common thing to say. The conclusion is hardly surprising. It's a fancy way of saying everybody knows that. And it's a conclusion from a show titled Hostile Planet. So just from the get-go, straight up, you look at the title Hostile Planet, and you know that the show's theory is the world is a tough place.
好，所以 from the get-go 就是从一开始的意思啊。所以呢，这个地方呢讲到说 the world is a tough place， 世界是一个严酷的地方 ，tough 可以翻成严酷的哈 ，harsh 啊，或者是这个difficult to endure 等等的。那虽然说这个结论就是世界很严酷，这个结论呢 is hardly surprising， 一点都不会让你觉得很意外。From 就如果你今天看到这个 show 的话，那你得到这个结论一点也不会让人觉得意外。那什么 show 呢？这个 show titled 啊，你也可以说 entitled。那这个 show 它的标题就是我们这里讲到的危险星球啊 ，Hostile Planet。Hosted
by well-known British adventurer Bear Grylls.This series offers a view of the natural world that is not sugar-coated at all. Remember, this is National Geographic TV. They have invited a man from Britain, interesting name, Bear Grylls, and he's going to show us, he will offer us a view or a glimpse of the natural world of nature that is not sugar-coated at all.We could have, for example, beautiful planet, mountains. And on a show like that, we will just show the beautiful things about the mountain. And that might be sugar-coated. We make something that isn't appealing or isn't special or beautiful to seem as though it is.
It's like putting sugar around medicine.
啊，所以这个
sugar in coffee.
Sugar coated.
You guys are old school. Oh my gosh. Sugar in coffee is awesome, especially if it's hazelnut flavored, okay?
Okay.
Oh wow, the face you guys just made. That was awesome. I'm going to say more stuff like this. I want to see this face again.
啊，所以我们这里讲到这个 sugar coated 啊，就是裹上糖衣的啊。那刚才讲到我们讲到这。我跟 Bruce 老师听到这个加了糖的咖啡或者弄那个甜化的咖啡，我们都觉得但是其实很多人很喜欢吃那种有甜味的咖啡啊。那我们看到这个句子，他说 hosted by 主持是谁主持呢 ？Well known 很知名的英国的 adventurer 一个探险家叫做 Bear Grylls 啊，这个名字蛮好玩的，啊，让我想到 Grill Bears。Grilled
bears for one thing, but a grill is also like the front of a car or like when people put metal on their teeth.
Oh,
so I feel like he's got probably little tiny bears embedded on each of his teeth in gold. He's got a bear grill.
Yeah, 这个名字让我们产生很多联想啊。这 grills 也可以表示车子最前面那个铁栅哈，或者是有的人在整修牙齿的时候呢，在调整牙齿的时候，在牙齿上戴的那个牙架啊，所以会让我们想到很多很有趣的东西啊，所以这个名字非常有趣。那由这一位探险家他主持的，那 this series 这一个系列节目呢 offers 他提供 a view of 就是让你看一看什么东西呢 the natural world 这个自然的世界，但是这个自然世界这个 view 是怎么样呢 that is not sugar coated at all 一点也没有裹上糖衣，一点也没有加以美化，也就是自然世界是什么样子，我就给你看它是什么样子。
Over the course of 6 episodes, so the series has only got 6 in it, but that's cool. So in the series, Grylls and the film crew visit various ecosystems. An ecosystem is, of course, a complete environment. So like a desert is an ecosystem, a wetland is an ecosystem, a forest is an ecosystem. So they're going to all these various different ecosystems, and they go there to capture the struggles and failures to survive. So we're looking at the losers, basically, in the fight to survive. All the various ways that the world can be hard on you. And in some of the most inhospitable and dangerous places on Earth. So we're looking at some of the hardest places to stay alive, where it's very easy to not stay alive, to find out what it's like.
所以 over the course of 6 episodes, over 就是在这段期间，那 the course 就是 duration 啊，所以在这样的6集的这样的一个时间之内，所以我就是6集的节目当中的意思。Grylls 还有他的 film crew， 他的摄影团队 visit 去哪里呢？去 various ecosystems， 就是不同的生态系统 ，ecosystems 就是生态系统。然后呢，他们 capture， 他们捕捉，显然是用镜头捕捉什么呢 ？The struggles 奋斗 and failures 失败 to survive 就是让我们看看这些动物他们如何的想尽办法求生啊，同时我们也看到他们的求生失败。然后在哪里求生失败，在哪里奋斗呢？在 some of the most inhospitable 就是 unfriendly hostile 的意思，或者是 difficult to live
easy to leave
Yeah, easy to 没错哈，所以要注意啊 leave 是离开 live 是居住哈，所以这地方应该是 difficult to live 啊，就是很难居住。那刚刚 Angel 老师马上开了一个玩笑，说 easy to leave 这种地方你要离开是很容易的，赶快就跑了啊。所以到这些最这个让你觉得很危险不适合居住的，同时也是 dangerous 最危险的一些地方 on earth 带你到地球上最不适合居住最危险最有敌意的一些地方啊，去看看那里的动物是怎么样 struggle to survive 或者是怎么样他们有什么样的 failures to survive.
To kick off the National Geographic series, if you were with us earlier this month, we had kick off, which means to start or begin something.
So to start off the series.
Right. Viewers are brought to mountainous areas, of course. This is the name of this particular episode.
Series.
Hostile Planet Mountains. So there are mountainous areas all around the world. Even Australia, which is quite a small continent, has mountains, not very high, but we have some neck-stretching mountains here in Asia, in South America, and North America.
Neck stretching 就是把你的脖子伸得长长的。So what does that actually mean?
It means that you force yourself to look up at something. I get that all the time. But...
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Especially standing next to Wesley.
所以就是在这里，刚刚 Bruce 老师用这个字来形容的高山，就是你要伸长脖子往上看看到那个山很高很高的意思。所以这个地方我们讲到说呢to kick off 就是 to start 要把这一个国家地理频道系列的节目要开始。那也就是说一开始呢 viewers 这些观众 are brought to 就被带到mountainous areas 就是多山的地区很多山的地方。那 all around the world 被带到全世界很多山的地方。
So from the first frame, the focus of the show is on danger.So what I like about this article is she's pushing, our author is pushing a viewpoint, and the viewpoint is this show is really about hostility. So she's trying to emphasize how the hostility is really made. So almost every sentence is kind of tweaked to get the idea across of how this show is about hostility, about danger, about difficulty. And so this sentence makes it the most clear. She says, from the first frame, a frame is, it's a film frame. It's literally the first view you get on the show. And we call that view a frame because we frame it with the camera. So from the very first thing you see on the show, from the first frame, the focus of the show is on danger. There is no letting up to the idea that danger.
Yeah, 这个 frame 呢，大概就相当于我们的镜头所以 from the first frame 就从第一个镜头开始 the focus of the show 这个节目的焦点is on danger 就放在危险这件事情上面。
Gorgeous vistas and awesome landscapes can't distract viewers from the perils of living on the side of a lofty mountain. Usually when we think of or observe mountains, they're really quite beautiful. But in this program, they're showing us quite a different side to that. Once you get onto the mountain, here's what you get, and that includes the perils of living there, the danger, even death, especially on lofty mountains. Lofty mountains simply means very tall and steep, so that it's easy to lose your balance and fall, rocks. There can be landslides and so on, especially when you are on or near a lofty mountain.
这个 lofty 这个意思呢，就是 of imposing height， 就是它高的让你觉得这个很耸立的那种感觉。那尤其是 lofty 这个字常常是 standing out above others 就是在比其他的高很多，所以才会有刚刚 Bruce 讲那种感觉很 steep S-T-E-E-P 很陡峭高耸的这种山。那我们看到这个地方，它这个句子，它一开始他说 gorgeous vistas。Gorgeous 就是 very beautiful, dazzling beautiful, dazzlingly beautiful 或者是 magnificent. 那 vistas 就是一些景色通常 vista 常常是指一个 a distant view 常常是从远远的看那这样的一个 vista， 或者是 a pleasing view 也是个 vista， 也就是美景的意思。所以一些很壮丽的景观叫做 gorgeous vistas。还有呢 awesome landscapes， awesome 就是让你觉得怎么这么棒inspiring awe 的意思，或者是这个 remarkable 的意思。landscape 也是景观的意思。所以呢，这壮丽的美景，还有一些令人惊叹的景观 can't 都没有办法 distract 就是使分心 distract viewers 让观众分心，也就是壮丽的美景没有办法让观众不注意到，就是 can't distract viewers from 没有办法让观众不注意到什么东西呢？ The perils of living on the side of a lofty mountain 那 perils 就是 danger 的意思。所以这样的美景，你看到这样的美景，但是呢，你还是没有办法让观众不注意到说，居住在这个这么高的山的山边 on the side of a lofty mountain 这样的地方，在这种地方居住，它所具有的危险，它的 perils。所以也就是说，风景很漂亮，但是你还是会注意到说，哇，在这种地方生存不易啊。
Now, in our commentary up till now, we've been kind of talking about people's view of these areas. But in fact, the show is not about people living in these places. It's about animals and how hard it is for them to live in these places. For example, hatchlings need to leap from their nests before they can fly. So if you're a bird, you have to literally launch yourself into the void to grow up. Like, we think our adolescence is scary. Dang. Or mountain goats risk being swept away as they cross fast-moving rivers. They're just trying to get to better-tasting grass, and they might die in the river as it rushes down the mountain.
好，所以 hatchlings 就是刚刚孵出来的卵生动物也就是刚刚孵出来的鸟，它们必须要 leap。leap 就是从一个高处往下跳jump down from an elevated point， 它们必须要往下跳 from their nest， 从它们的巢往下跳。Before they can fly， 在他们能飞之前，他们就必须要从它的巢往下跳。我已经看过类似的影片，那个鸟它在巢里面长到相当大的时候，它要学飞的话，它没有地方，他们不是在说树上学飞，万一飞不了就顶多掉到这个几公尺的地下，没有，他们是在悬崖上面所以他们要学着飞的话，就必须要从他们巢里面往外跳。那跳下去的时候呢，就是大部分的小鸟在过程当中就为了求生，他们就想办法就可以飞了。但是也有一些小鸟一直到落地之前都还没有学会怎么飞那就这样子摔死了所以这是非常严酷的一种生存环境。那此外他还讲到说 mountain goats 就是雪羊 risk 他们冒的什么险呢？ being swept away 被冲走的危险 as they cross fast moving rivers 他们要横跨或者是要横越要穿越流速很快的河流的时候，他们会冒一个险，就是会被流水被这个很快的河水冲走，所以也是一样，他们随时可能丧失生命。
And here's another example. Even an animal at the top of the food chain, now those would be meat-eating predators.
Humans.
For example, like a snow leopard in the Himalayas, the tallest mountains in the world, puts its life at risk when an attack on prey leads to a precarious tumble down the mountain. In its natural habitat, the snow leopard is in these very, very lofty mountains. There's very little vegetation. Wesley just mentioned there's no tree for the hatchlings to jump from. There's very little vegetation. It's all rock and dirt. And as snow leopards try to catch their prey, they put their life at risk because they can fall or they can slip and tumble down the mountain and suffer hurt or much worse.
Or injury.
Yeah. 好，所以即使呢 an animal 一只动物，它是 at the top of the food chain， 就是在食物链的顶端的动物，例如什么样？雪豹 a snow leopard。在喜马拉雅山的雪豹，它是食物链的顶端的，所以照道理讲，没有动物能伤害它了。但即使是它们，也是 puts its life at risk， 就是冒着生命的危险。好 ，put something at risk 就是把什么置于险境。所以当它 puts its life at risk， 就把它生命置于险境，也就是冒生命的危险。当 an attack on prey， 这是一个名词，当他们攻击 猎物 prey 就是猎物，他们对一个猎物的攻击 leads to 可能会导致一个 precarious 就是 dangerous risky 一个危险的 tumble 在这里就是跌落或者滚落down the mountain， 所以他们攻击猎物，他们可能要跳，可能要冲，那一不小心可能就会滚下这个山，所以这对他们来讲也是非常的危险 precarious， 所以他虽然是食物链顶端，但他猎食的时候他也可能会让自己受伤。
And to add insult to injury, these struggles and more are all amplified by global warming. Now, to add insult to injury, here our author is using it to mean to make things worse. What this actually means, though, is like if you imagine that you fell down the stairs and you broke your leg, but then to add insult to injury, everyone laughed at you. So you not only are hurt, you broke your leg, but you also lost face because everyone was like, what an idiot.
Yeah, clumsy.
Right? That's an insult that's added already to your physical problem. So that means to make things worse.
所以 to add insult to injury 就是类似中文讲的雪上加霜的，也就是说让事情更糟糕的是，这些生存的 struggles 这些奋斗 and more 还有一些其他的东西呢are all amplified 都被放大了 by global warming 因为全球暖化而所以这些 struggles 都被这个放大 amplify 放大或者是加剧变得更严重的，这 increase 的意思，所以随着全球暖化呢，他们的 struggles 更加的严重，更加的严峻。
All the animals Grills and the crew film are impacted by the changing climate. Impact means to influence something very strongly or deeply.
就是受到冲击的意思 impact 就是冲击，所以他还有他的摄影团队所摄影到的这些动物 are impacted by 都受到了冲击，被什么冲击呢？ The changing climate 在改变中的气候的冲击，换句话说他们都受到了这个global warming 的影响。
Okay, so the global warming is happening, the climate is changing, and so they're trying to show how the animals are impacted. In what way are the animals affected? So in one way, for some species, scarcity of food, a lack of food, or the fact that there's not enough food leads to more competition and fighting. More animals are trying to eat the same food, and that causes fighting.
所以这个全球气候的变迁怎么样造成影响呢？他说 For some species 对于某些物种来讲 Scarcity of food 就是食物的稀少这件事情 Scarcity 就是稀少那如果你要换的话就 deficiency 不够或者是有一个字很棒大家背起来 dearth D-E-A-R-T-H 这个字也是表示稀少的意思所以食物的稀少 leads to 导致 more competition 更多的竞争 and fighting更多的打斗，因为食物稀少，那这么多动物要吃，所以他们彼此之间，即使同物种之间，也会彼此的竞争，会彼此的打斗。
For others, and this means for other species, shifting weather patterns, that means changing weather patterns, force them to migrate to environments that may be even more inhospitable. Migrate is to move from one area into another area. Animals, many species of animals do this both in water and on land. However, because of global warming, they may actually move to an area that is worse than they thought, and that can lead to many more problems.
所以 for others 对于其他的物种来讲呢，可能 shifting 就是 changing 的意思，会改变之中的正在改变之中的这种 weather patterns 就是天气的形态 force them to 会迫使他们 migrate to 就是移居，迫使他们迁居移居到 environments 到一些环境里面，但是这些他们新到的环境呢 that may be even more inhospitable for survival，这些环境可能会更加的不适合或者 hostile 这个字你可以念 inhospitable 也可以念 inhospitable 都可以那更加的不适合生存。
So, Hostile Planet Mountains presents a somber picture. Somber is a great word. It means both sad, dark, and bleak. You talk about somber funerals. You talk about somebody's face looking somber after they've received some bad news. So it's a somber picture where the fight for survival doesn't necessarily end in triumph. So it won't necessarily have a happy ending, and probably won't.
所以这个地方 讲到这个节目呢 presents 就是它让我们看到它这个展示了一个 a somber picture。 somber 这个字呢就是暗淡的忧郁的 dark 或者 gloomy gloomy 一个 somber picture， 一个让你看起来觉得很暗淡的心情会沉重的一个picture， 一个画面或者是一个景象。那 where 在这个地方，在这个 picture 里面呢 the fighting for survival 为了生存而做的一些奋斗 doesn't necessarily end in triumph， 它不一定会以胜利来结束end in triumph 就是胜利，以胜利结束。但换句话说，你的奋斗，你这个非常奋斗要能够存活，但是结果常常不是好事，常常不是以胜利结果。换句话说，可能你会失败。
Even for the survivors, here you could think of the winners, the outlook appears bleak. The future appears hopeless. In the face of, when confronted by, or in the presence of, an all too quickly changing planet. If the climatic systems are changing very quickly, it's not just the weather that changes, but the vegetation and the animals depending on vegetation or other animals.
好，然后他说，即使对 the survivors 就是成功活下来的人，即使对他们来讲 the outlook 就是前景 expectation for the future 前景 appears 看起来也是 bleak 就是我们刚刚讲的 gloomy 就是 somber 就是 depressing 你看起来还是觉得这个前景看来也是很暗淡的。 in the face of 为什么暗淡呢？因为他们面临了 in the face of 面临了一个 all too quickly 就是太快的 changing， 也就是 all too quickly 在修饰那个 changing， 也就是变化太快的一个星球。所以地球变化太快了，所以面临这样一个变化太快的一个地球，即使是 survivors 他们也觉得前景感觉起来非常的暗淡，非常的 bleak。Okay,
well, I don't know about you guys. I have to get home and see this National Geographic episode.
You're a fan of dark, bleak, sad shows?
Noir cinema.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for today. Join us anytime.